Yo, Spring X back at it again, coming through talking to y'all about another knife. Y'all know I'm like the knife expert in this piece, so I'm going to talk to y'all about this, and by the end I'm going to have y'all convinced that this might be the best thing since sliced bread. First off, let's light this stick up. Hey, what's up, Jared?
Yo, someone said knife expert.
I actually was just like literally about to talk about.
This is the spot, huh?
I was going to talk about your knife.
What do you got there? You know this isn't a cigar knife, right?
Like me smoking cigars is kind of like a part of my stick. Like it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like the vibe.
So is this a cigar video or a knife video?
I'm not trying to associate your knife with like man cave and cigars and stuff, but this is a vibe, bro. This is a vibe.
What's up with your TV, man? What are you, a narcissist or something? Should be watching.
Well, first off, I always put my name on the TV because, like, otherwise, like the TV itself would just kind of always reflect light.
Narcissist. Gotcha. Let me help you with this.
I don't need help describing the knife. Like I done all my research. Everyone on the channel knows I know everything about knives. Matter of fact, I could have came up with this myself, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know about all that. And that cigar is smelling awfully nice. I wish you could have just brought your boy one. But nope, Ghost Needs knives doesn't get any.
I'll get right to it. Am I allowed to show your knife with other knives in this video? Or
yes, absolutely. No? As long as it's not as good as mine, which that's going to be pretty hard to do anyways.
Okay, got it. I'll make sure I do that.
Make sure they get all the details.
All right. Yes, I'll let them know. Aluminum scales in 5 CR15 MOV
That's
blade.
not
No,
even
it's not
close to
any
being
of those
right.
specs. None of those specs. Okay. Hardness level about 55 to 57. No, not that either.
Magna Cut 63 to 64.
I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you now because I know I'm gonna get this stuff right. Don't worry about it. All right. I know all about knives that are made in Canada.
It's not
made in Canada.
You know what? I could just do this for you.
Listen, don't worry about it. I got this. I got this covered. All right. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. All right. So listen, I am not a premium knife bull. Okay. By bull, I mean like just a straight bull in a China shop. I don't have all the expertise when it comes to giving you the bee's knees for the most premium filling knives. But I will tell you this, Jared over with Neeve's Knives on YouTube. He has Neeve Knife Co. It's his knife company. And I checked out his design that he did with We Knife. I think it's pretty dope. And he reached out to me. He said, I have a design that I'm putting out under my own branding. And it's called The Offender. And it's going to be available today, February 17th. And I thought to myself, I am no expert. But of course, Jared can send your boy over one. Now, this is a great opportunity for me to do an unboxing of his knife because when it comes to premium knives, I don't own a lot of them. I kind of like flow within that world of the $50 to $200 knife range. I don't know how much this knife is going to cost. I kind of like live there, and I'm not the best at specs and stuff like that. But look at the minimalistic packaging on this bad boy. I think I'm the prime candidate to know whether or not something is worth it. I like this case. A lot of cases I get are kind of like the CJRBs, the Benchmades doesn't even come with a case. It's kind of like the felt line one. This is a little bit bigger, where if you wanted to, you could throw 2 knives in here. All right. I like the minimalistic, but I like just the packaging itself. All right. So here we go. Oh man, Birdman, clap on these boys. We got the Neeve Knife Co. The Offender, first flick of the wrist. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Now I'm not an expert, but I do know that looks like a recurved Tanto harpoon style of blade on those boys. Just look at that knife. 8 inches overall in length. I think 3.25 inches for the blade, 3 inches of actually cutting length, a little bit more because of the recurve. And this is just one of those knives where the first couple of flicks of the wrist lets me know. It's getting Grandpa excited. Magna Cut blades on this bad boy. It is easy to reverse flick it. We're going to talk about some things, some first impressions that I have of this. Literally 5 flicks in. Okay, this is 5 flicks in. Okay, I don't want to glaze this. It's not a full review. This is a first impression. All right, some things I'm feeling off rip. There's jipping on the lock bar. Like there's jipping right here. All right. I'm not a I've never felt that before. I have a few knives that have frame locks or bolster locks. None of them have jipping back here. It just makes it that much easier to redeploy the knife. I like that. I'm feeling some jipping back here on the back. What is this called? I forget what this is called back here. Is it the... You guys, let me know in the comments. See, this is where you know I'm not a knife expert. I feel jipping back here as well. That feels really good on the hand. And then there's jipping on the spine of the knife as it approaches up towards the actual knife itself. And as you get into this finger choil, that jipping feels good together. Like, I like the fact that there's area for you to get up here with your finger itself. The jipping keeps your hand from slipping up, but then there's kind of like a guard to keep your finger from even slipping up even more on the back of the knife, on the spine of the knife. That feels freaking amazing. Let's talk about the pocket clip real quick. So, of course, we got titanium scales on this. The pocket clip seems like it is installed and drilled down from the top, or from the bottom, rather. And it's not reversible. So if you're wrong-handed, you're just going to have to, get used to this. You wouldn't want it reversible anyway, it being a frame lock. I don't think it would be. I think they just kind of have to come out with a left-hand version of this knife. But look how the actual pocket clip flows with, it's a deep carry pocket clip, but it flows with the curvature of the scales themselves. Now, I haven't put it in the pocket yet, so I don't know how it's going to feel, but it looks amazing, feels really good. I'm liking the fact it's titanium scales, but it's kind of like, almost feels like a stone washed, brushed titanium scale, to where as it begins to show its age, it's going to absorb that a little bit. You see on the pivot, it has the blue. To my understanding, you're going to be able to pre-order the hardware today. The knives are available to order today straight out. No pre-orders for the knife. You can just buy it today. But the hardware here, all this stuff, I think you're going to be able to pre-order it today, so you can customize this how you want it. And that way you have multiple sets of this. And I think that that's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, this is the easiest way to deploy this knife, is whether it is the flicking with the reverse flick, spidey flick. That's kind of like the easiest way to deploy this, like hands down. In theory, you can deploy it with your thumb. You can also use the front flipper. It's actually fantastic. The action on this is fantastic. No matter which one you decide to do, you can come here, spidey flick. Yeah, I like the action on that. I like the way that this is sounding. One thing I've noticed about any type of reviewers, whether they are Instagram, YouTube, their knives, a lot of time their knives hit different. I've just noticed that because they've handled so many knives that they know what they want. They know what they want in specifically in a knife. Before we jump and take a deeper look at this actual blade, because it's super unique looking comparison to another knife that's next to a Benchmade bug out, starting both of the scales. So you see it's a little bit bigger than a bug out. Here it is next to a Spyderco PM2. So you can kind of see it is comparable in size to the PM2. So if you're used to the PM2, that's like a good comparison knife. And then even the new CJRB Maximal, which I would say is a great budget banger crossbar, significantly bigger than that. So this is a knife where you want to do some work. This is going to be a knife. If you got big old mittens, you're going to be happy with that. I like the recurve on that. It does have a flat grind, but it also itself, I love this Tonto action. I love the way this knife looks. Now, one thing I would say about the blade itself, it feels, I don't know how, I'm assuming it has to be razor sharp. Now here's a Band-Aid. Here is a adhesive dressing. These are flimsy, best cut with like maybe a pair of scissors or something like that. But nah, it's going through the Band-Aid. Yeah, that's pretty good. It started cutting the Band-Aid in the packaging itself. That's like sharp out of the gate. I like this because getting up into a box, the way that Tanto, what I've noticed for utility cuts and for getting into packages and stuff like that, I like Tantos for that type of stuff. That's why I gravitate towards my Benchmade bailout. any blade that has a tanto itself. Like I really do try to kind of gravitate towards that. So I don't know. First impressions of this, not having it in the pocket, just literally pulling it out, using it, feeling it in the hand. I'm loving the way it feels. I'll link up down below pricing because I actually have no clue how much this is going to cost, but this is the type of knife for someone that's a knife guy. All right. So if you click on the link down below and you can appreciate the hardware, the blade itself, the recurve, the access to opening the knife, the jipping on the frame lock itself, the jipping on the spine of the knife. If you can, in the balance of the knife itself, 2 fingers on those boys. Nice. 1 finger on those boys. Nice. Yeah. This feels like the knife for someone that's a knife guy. This feels like you already own a knife. Maybe you are a couple years into your knife game. You already started to collect knives or whatever. You decided that you want yourself a premium knife. This feels like that premium knife. This feels like that premium knife. This feels like that knife where you've decided that it's time for you to make a purchase for something that you're really going to enjoy. This feels like one of those I'm really going to enjoy a type of knives. I don't know, man. Me personally, I love what Jared has come up with this design, and this is getting put into the pocket for quite a while. Get some pocket time so I can come back around and do a full review of this. Give me an S for a smash or a P for a pass down below. Shout out to Jared for sending this out. Not a sponsored video. Jared, thanks for making an appearance at the beginning of the video. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like have a little bit of banter and fun and all of that good stuff. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.